Well, I'm gonna take it all very personally.
Hunter,
Good to know.
God, your new microphone is so good. I know I said that already, but like, that
Okay,
is a good microphone.
stream's up. Can somebody check it?
Oh wait, okay. Twitch.tv/ Cregan Artist.
I'm only recording it so I can send it to Chris later. So we're gonna send him like a synopsis, and if in case he wants to listen to it, like I just want to record the actual dialogue.
I can hear
Are
audio.
you?
You're good.
All right.
Okay. Beautiful. So we are starting now?
I mean, unless you all just want to chill for a bit.
Nope, I already started the stream.
All right.
You
The
might
time
wanna
for
start
chill.
first.
Huh?
Because I have to get a couple things off before. That has to get to Grin first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm texting it to you now.
Oh. But yeah, if I don't know how we're gonna talk, but if you want, we can kind of all take turns saying our piece, uninterrupted. We'll do it like a presidential debate because you know how so smoothly those go.
I think we just do it organically and figure out how it goes based on that.
I am just texting Chris because he did ask when we were gonna do it, and I told him 8. So I'm telling him that we are starting now in case he wanted to actually be here.
Yeah, it's all gonna be recorded. We're good.
But we can presidentially debate this. After John finishes texting. I'm running late with 1% on my phone. If I'm late, just record the first part if possible. Feel free to start. Okay, so he is going to be joining eventually.
Oh, frick.
Okay, so who's setting it off?
Did you think the DM wasn't going to be interested in his players role playing without him?
I mean, we need the impartial DM.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine. Just like.
I think saying Chris is an impartial DM is not giving him enough credit.
He's an impartial outside of Group A. Like, between the groups, he's not impartial.
That's fair.
I think within Group A, he's impartial, though. I think he likes us all equally. I like to think so.
Hopefully. I worry. I feel like my Zoomer energy might be a bit much, because I am very much so a representative of my generation in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but people liking me is kind of integral to me, so it's kind of an important thing that I worry about a lot.
Well, Amanda, we like you and enjoy having you very much, and we're all happy to be your friend.
Ah! Thank you.
Take the compliments, Amanda. You're a good person.
Ah! Okay,
Right.
so let's actually get this started.
All the wholesome is out of our systems.
Yes, let's be assholes to each other.
Oh, God.
I feel like I'm not going to be enough of an asshole.
Abel has his own niche of emotion.
Yep.
Or lack
Able
thereof.
emotion.
Yeah. Okay, so did you finish texting him, John?
Almost done.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is a long one. I don't know. I don't know what this
That's
is.
what she said.
Bahamut's just gonna show up behind Grin. Bahamut's just gonna be standing in the snow.
We already had that conversation earlier about how any size is good.
That is
I
true.
don't like
we had
it.
that conversation. This is being recorded.
Oh,
is
right, yeah.
Being
Well,
immortalized.
Chris, we're talking about the size of D20s.
Anyway.
Whoops.
the size of everyone's D20s.
Yeah, like if you got 30 mil. I'm so sorry, everybody.
So more like a D12. Yeah.
So, anyways, Elda's crying in a corner after what just happened. Because she is emotionally tired.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, where we left off, Grin still had her grappled.
Yeah.
Wait, Elda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Really?
Right.
I thought he had Henri picked up. By
No,
the
no,
collar.
Elda.
No, it was Elda because Elda ran
Yeah.
off.
You're right.
Oh yeah.
Henri sitting in a corner crying.
Oh, yeah. So now that we're out, Elda's just gonna like just start crying. Like, oh god, that was. Oh god, I hate. Sorry. But more like sad.
Kino's just gonna be silently watching, kind of a stern face.
Hey, could you stop joking me?
Abel's mostly quiet, looking a little confused, has that expression of, ew, people got socialization and emotions on me.
It's gonna take Grin a couple seconds to realize we're not in the snow anymore, like we're underground again,
Yeah.
and he will let you go as soon as that becomes clear.
Yeah. Yeah, tears streaming, she is very happy to be let go. Okay.
Kino's just gonna put a hand on your shoulder.
I'm just
gonna
gonna
be
lie down. Okay, we're out. Okay.
So, do we want to talk about this a little before we go on the next one?
Please.
I mean, at this point, what is there to talk about?
Are
We
you
just
with us?
we just murdered people for the sake of food. That's not okay.
Did we?
Like,
So,
I mean,
I thought that place was suspicious.
it was, but like,
I mean, I've
And,
never heard of that place.
Or they also couldn't point themselves out on a map.
Or a calendar. What month was that? I've never heard of that.
Or how to get back to 10 Towns even though that they constantly trade there. It was just suspicious to me.
Like, we're in this special place, and we go into this weird portal, and we're told we're on a trial. I think the probability of that being not a real instance, or at least not one in our reality or time, very unclear.
Is this how you're all justifying the way you acted just now? By convincing
No.
yourselves that it wasn't real?
I can't prove that it is real, even
Yeah.
close.
I think it was more
do you not feel
circumstance-
horrible for what just happened? Like, I recognize that I like contributed, but that's because I felt like I had to.
Oh, it feels terrible.
It's
But-
very convenient that you all want to have this conversation now after you've already done it instead of before it happened.
Well, I'm just saying, if we're going to continue it, I think we should be all on the same page. I don't think we should have our new leader opposing the group, right?
We didn't have much of a choice in there.
New leader who?
You.
In what way did any of you treat me like a leader?
So, brother really
Don't-
told you
Trying
to
to get
watch?
out of the whole discussion. I would have brought this up before. It wasn't convenience. I just wasn't
Yeah.
hearing it.
I didn't know it was going to be that bad. I thought it was going to be like fight this creature, retrieve this item, not kill these people for food. That was terrible. I didn't want to do that.
You didn't seem to have much problem having it done, though, did you?
I do what is needed to be done, especially when there's a time limit.
And then
I-
after it's done, you'd like to appoint someone else as the leader.
I have no problem with you being the leader. I just want to talk things out.
Of course you don't. After the deed is done, you'd love to have the responsibility of the group pushed onto someone else until it becomes inconvenient to you again.
I'll be the leader if that's what you want. What would you like, Grin? But just know, if you want to lead the
we're
group,
unsuccessful in these
Oh.
trials, how many people die then by us not doing the thing? Real people that we've met and know to be real.
if you want to lead this group, you need to realize that there's going to be times where you are going to want to do the things that might not line up with what you think is morally. We're all going to do things that you don't think is morally correct. You can advise us otherwise, but as soon as you draw that line, you're no longer the leader. As soon as I see you picking members up by the scruff of their neck and grappling them, you're not the leader. You're opposition. We cannot have that kind of disconnect when there is so much on the line. We need to work together or we don't work at all. It's the same thing I've told many people before, including myself, when sparing the Duchess of Sunblight.
So, like I said, you're perfectly happy to let someone else be the leader until you have decided they're not leading the way you'd like them to. So, as long as someone else has the responsibility, you still want to be the one in control here.
I'm saying that we need to work together as a group, and it seemed like majority of the group was willing to do the deed. Am I wrong?
Henri, how are you doing?
Uh,
And Delta's just gonna turn to Henri, being like,
well, in a meta term, I just rolled my con save and I failed. So, she is shivering in the corner,
oh, God.
not really sure how to start with fixing the thing the problem that she caused.
Here, Ella's gonna take off her winter cloak and
I mean,
throw it
she
over
has a winter
you.
cloak.
She's gonna throw another one on you.
You fix
Still,
it by finishing the deed. You fix it by finishing the trials. Or else that
I-
was all for naught.
But what's the point if it just makes people upset with me? Grin, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have done it, and I'm sorry. I didn't think it would make you this upset. But that's not a reason, and it's not an excuse.
Well, these are the consequences that you face when you choose to ask for forgiveness instead of for permission.
Not for nothing, Grin, but that was very unlike you back there. The last time I saw that kind of violence, it wasn't you, it was Mirror You. Are you sure that's the kind of example you want to be setting?
What violence?
Grappling people, killing the man in the village. Are you sure you want to be doing that? Because
You want
that's
to call
just as
me out? You want to call me out for killing him when you condone the killing of innocent people? Elderly who couldn't even fight back? Is that really
I
the road
didn't
you want to
kill
go down?
anyone.
No, of course not. You never
All I'm
kill
saying
anyone. You
is
just
I saw
stand
you.
by while other people kill them for you.
So Henri's gonna like stand up and walk over to Grin, and she's gonna look at him and she's gonna say, I know. I've never done anything like this. And after this, after everything that's happened, I won't do anything like it again. Even these trials, if you guys think that we shouldn't, then I won't. I don't care what happens. If it makes everybody upset, then I don't care. But I'm sorry. I am. I didn't think that this would happen, and I know that I have to live with the consequences now, and I will. But please, please stop fighting. Please. We're a team, we're a group. We can do anything together. And Grin, I know that we should have talked it out beforehand. We should have, and it's my fault that we didn't. But we can work it out, can't we?
it's not your fault you didn't. It's
It
my
is
fault.
my fault.
No,
I'm
it
the
is
one who
my
It's
fault.
not
started.
your fault.
I'm the one who started the trial. I'm the one who ran up to the door. It is my fault. I started it. I decided, without talking to anybody else, that it would just be a good idea to go and kill those people. It is my fault. You can say it's not
You,
all you want.
Henri,
You
it was my
initiated
fault.
it, but who here wouldn't have started that trial?
We could have at least talked about it before I ran in.
Well, I'll be honest. Who wouldn't
Yeah,
have initiated it? Because I know I would have. You would have.
I
It
would have.
sounds like Elda would have. Abel would have. So that's already majority. I'm sorry,
The
Ryan, and
the
I'm sorry that you have to be subjected to
the
this.
point isn't that anybody would have. It's that I decided without asking anybody that it would be the good thing to do, and everybody was like, okay, then we'll just follow her. But even before we even started it, we should have talked about it. We should have, because we are a group. And if Grin is the leader, then we should have definitely talked about it with him. But we didn't, and it's my fault, and I'm sorry.
Talking would have been better, but it seemed like me it was pretty obvious. I was surprised people wouldn't have wanted to start it. I mean, we didn't know what the trial was going to be. I could see that being people have a problem with that, but ultimately, we're here to do something. Looking at my watch, we only have a couple more hours to get more of these trials done, but you know, that's what we're here for. That's why we're freezing our butts off. That's why we're here.
After everything, I want to listen to what Grin thinks. I think I would, like I said, I if it's gonna make people upset, I'd be fine with not doing the trials. But I want to hear what everybody says, and I especially want to hear what Grin says because I didn't listen to him before, and that was wrong. So now I'm going to. Grin. Grin.
He's looks like he's thinking.
Oh, okay, sorry. Do, 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 do.
And I am sorry. I did not mean to cause as much of a ruckus back there as I did. I'll be the first one to say that. Things did move quite fast back there, but Henri's right. We need to work as a unit. That's how we've done everything so far, and that's how we succeed.
I mean, if we fail these trials, don't we believe a lot of things are going to bad for a lot of people? Not doing them
incredibly.
sort of like killing those people. And those people
Yes.
I know to exist. If we're going to go down that path to save them, then that means doing these trials.
There,
Sorry, go ahead.
there can be no more unilateral decisions. I don't care if any one of you thinks what you're
Huge word for
doing
Grin.
is the right thing to be doing. Shut up. You think my
sorry,
chain of thought?
sorry. I just always find it funny when it's like something, something, shut up, something, something.
Sorry.
Like when somebody stops in the middle of what they're saying and just says shut up really quick before immediately continuing what they were saying before.
You completely derailed my brain. Hold on.
God.
Good.
Start from the
Good.
beginning.
I don't care if what you think you're doing is the correct thing to be doing. There will be no more unilateral decisions. You say that you all agreed what was happening was the right thing to be happening, but we never even discussed it. You just acted, and either you were supported or Abel or Orion just didn't bother to put in any input.
I wasn't around when it happened. You guys
It all
kind of
did
had
happen
it
quite
off
quickly.
to the side, away from us.
So you say, oh, we had majority support of the group, Kino, but as it turns out, only 3 of you really understood and knew what was going on there. And it just so happened to be the three people that you were on the side of.
3 for, 2 abstained, 1 against.
There wasn't a vote. You just acted.
Only action, because only action matters in the end. But we can start voting from now on, if that would make you
I
feel
don't
better.
want to do votes.
I think votes slow the process down, and we've been shown that there's time limits.
I no longer care what you think.
There
That's not very leader-like of you now, is it?
I'm not the leader here. That's made very clear.
Exactly.
was a time limit towards the end there. That's why I was rushing. I don't know what would have happened if I didn't act.
I would agree with you that Henri should have waited before starting the trial. That would be a good time to maybe vote and decide something. But once we're in action and we are all very good at the things that we do. I trust you guys to make the right decision doing the things that you do. If we're going through and we have a goal, hopefully we'll all know what that goal is, but I trust you to do the things you do. If we have to stop, get together for a vote, that will trip us up sometimes.
Kina's just kind of nervously rubbing a gold coin in between her fingers as she's thinking.
While we were there, I got in contact with brother.
Wait, what? From where?
Through his holy symbol.
What did he say?
Huh.
Wait, you said that you didn't hear him. So
I
what did
said
he
it
say?
didn't help.
So what did he say? Did he say where he is? Is he okay?
He's alive. He can't say where. He said to tell you the Golden One saw him.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
Uh-oh.
He's doing okay though.
Well, he's drawn the he's drawn the attention of someone much worse. Oh, I hope he's safe. So
John, at what point would your thing have sent to me?
That would have sent halfway through your apology, so you would have gotten it in about 30 seconds.
Okay.
So what did he say beyond that, Grin?
What does it matter now?
Well, it obviously matters because he's our friend, and so are you.
Well, he's alive and well, at least well enough to take a moment to send us a message.
Well, what's he doing? Why was he pulled away?
He said Bahamut had to move him away for our safety.
Kina's just gonna open her book and just flip through a few pages and pull out a small folded piece of paper.
Which book?
The leveling one.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry, it's not the demon summoning one.
Whips out the
Just gonna
demon
go ahead
summoning
and put
book.
an end to this conversation.
All right. Shane Devil, get in here. Keep talking, I gotta find something.
Hey, Grin, I have a question. Do you hate me now?
Did I hear a yes?
I think that was John.
I don't know.
We heard you, John.
Yeah.
John, what the fuck?
I'm sorry.
That was
I don't mean to break the immersion. That was just really funny.
it was. It was.
Just faintly in the distance, yes.
My bad.
No, don't worry.
I am disappointed to find out that you are just like how I thought kobolds would be like.
Oh, Kino is. You're gonna see her expression harden when you say that.
Sneaking around behind your back and then groveling once they're caught.
She's trying her best.
What do you want to do to me?
I believe it.
Stand
Just
in front
do
of her.
whatever you're gonna do to me then.
No, no one's doing anything to you.
I don't hurt people for no reason.
Well, you have a reason.
Well, my bar for hurting people is a little bit higher than yours, apparently.
Kino's gonna pull out the folded piece of paper and unfold it. Still standing in front of Elda. This is what brother left me. I am so very proud of you. Do not let his sacrifice be in vain. That's the note that he left me.
Whose sacrifice?
Well, seeing as how his is lowercase, I'm going to say it's not referring to Bahamut, it's referring to but I don't know. It's all speculation at this point, but it's nice to know that he's still proud of me.
Well, he wrote that before he found out what you did here.
He knows what I do. He always has.
He knows what you did here now.
Here is nothing compared to what I've done in the past. We don't even know if this is real.
Does that matter?
It doesn't,
Does it?
to be honest. I think this is all sort of meaningless in the end.
If I may
That's
point
not what I
this
meant.
out, it does kind of matter. Even though the circumstances may be a little funky, it's still making choices and still doing things, and I think that might be your.
I meant
Just as
telling
an
people.
outside observer, I mean, I know I'm not fully vested or however you wish to define it. That was a bit of a rough decision making, quite surprising on my end, quite frankly. I
Well,
mean,
what would you have done?
killed for people in cold blood. I would have just taken whatever pain they would have given and just walked out. I'm not killing 5 people no matter how cool.
I'm not asking everyone here to kill 5 people. I think that should be reserved to the people that are most comfortable with it, especially when the entirety of a village
So
depends on it.
you'd rather let the kid kill 5 people than you yourself get your hands dirty? What kind of
I will
monster
do it
are
in a
you?
heartbeat. In fact, I would prefer if I did it
Except
from
you
now on.
stood back in the nice warm cold of the tent and you let it hurt you while you're dirty.
I was holding Grin back
I mean, quite
and
frankly,
distracting him.
what kind of people are you?
I will gladly do it again instead of Henri.
You didn't do a damn thing by my shoe. I sat there the entire time in bloody shock. You did nothing except cheer
I'll
on.
I'll do it.
You didn't though. You can say all you want. You didn't do jack.
She closes her book, puts a piece of paper behind the
Quite
cover.
frankly, this is all rather alarming. I mean, you said you were good people. I mean, you made a vow in that.
We are good people.
Not by my book. so
Some of
far,
us.
by my face.
And what's good people in your book?
I mean, did you see my village? The place where I grew? I mean, good golly, folks.
Yeah, well, the people you make deals with are a lot worse than any of us.
You honestly have no idea what deal I made. I can already tell and see what deals you did.
Hold on, John, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Yeah, I had to turn up my Discord audio a bit.
Sorry, could you repeat like the second half of that sentence?
Hold on. It's like I gotta. All right. It just looks you. The type of decisions you make.
You're
I'm
cutting
relieved
out
to
kind of
see at
badly.
least-
Yeah.
Yeah, my server's a little choppy. Doing some. I'll just type it out.
Yeah. Also, I think it's foolish to ever entertain the notion that we're going to be heroes. I think that notion should be disregarded.
We are heroes, though.
We're never we were never the heroes.
We're
trying to
always the
minimize
heroes. We're
we're
the
trying
good
to minim-
guys.
There are no good guys, Henri.
We're the
There's
good
people that-
guys. We're
there's
good
people-
people. Other than me making my mistakes, we're good people. I know it.
Henri, please stop saying that. It was me who pressured you into doing that.
No, it was my choice. But I did it because we're good people and we're gonna do good things as long as we all work together, and that's what I've always thought, and I still think that now.
Aside from that, Kino, your judgment has proven to be flawed at best.
Really, my judgment has proven to be flawed.
That's what I
How
said.
so? How so? Explain, please.
You don't know half what you think you do.
I never said I know any. I don't know anything. That's why I cling to you all, is because you are the best things I have. That's why I want to make sure that we're all on the same page and work together, is because you are all the truest family I've ever come to know. I I don't want anyone to leave. Like, Grin, I don't want you to leave this group, even if you do disagree with us morally. I enjoy spending my time and traveling with you all. And if we can do some good along the way, so be it. But we're not heroes, nor are we villains. There's people that live and there's people that die. And I hope to be the people that live. There's strong and there's weak.
I'd rather die good.
You don't die anything, you just die.
That's what you say.
The best
So
thing you
how do
can
you
do.
be good?
Yes.
I don't claim to be perfect, and I know I'm not as smart as the rest of you. But there are some decisions that are hard to make that are the right decisions. And I
I'd
feel
agree.
confident in my ability to make those decisions.
I think there's times where if we do get the opportunity, we need to talk things out, but there's also times where we need to trust each other enough to make snap decisions, because we've all seen what we've been up against. There's been times where there's traps, there's times where there's trials, choices, items to be taken, paths to be walked that don't allow the time for a vote. Going forward, we will try and talk things out, but I just want everyone to trust each other. And Grin, I'm not seeing a lot of trust from your end.
The snap decision to take innocent lives is not a decision I'm going to allow to be made.
So you're willing to go against the group, is what I'm hearing.
If the group decides to take innocent lives, then I'm not going to allow those decisions to be made.
Very well. Well, hopefully we don't have to do that again. But do we want to talk it out going forward before we enter the next trial? What are we going to do? Now that we have the time and the quiet and the peace, what do we want to do going forward?
I think that being successful in the trials will save lives that I can reliably believe to be real. What's going on in the trials? I don't know. I could flip a coin and probably be as accurate. It might be something contrived by the gods running this place, or it may be some portal into a different reality or time. I don't know. I don't know whether they're innocent. I know the people that being successful can really help. So until I know that that other thing behind the door in the trial is real, what I'm concerned about is getting the job done. Can anyone tell me that what's going on in there is real, or what I'm trying to be successful for is false?
They were as real as the death that was brought to them.
That's not true at all, and you know that. They couldn't point out where they were on a map. They couldn't point out where the trade routes were. Despite them having relied on them for years, they didn't know what year it was, Kings, they didn't know where Ten Towns was. Everything was pointing to the fact that it was an illusion. A
Or
test
they
that
were lost like he said they were.
they were out in the middle of nowhere by 10 Towns.
Lost.
You don't think if we had a picture of 10 Towns, they could have gone, oh, yes, that is the one we go to? Nothing?
Did we try that?
We did. And they couldn't name a single place, how to get there, a landmark, nothing. It was a poorly veiled disguise that they were nothing.
You say they, you talk to one person.
The entire village, them, all
You
of
talk to
them.
you talk to the whole village about if anyone
Talk to
knew where they
their-
were, or just the one
Isn't
crazy
that their
guy.
leader?
The leader of the village that knows the most. That leads
So
them.
the
How do you
one
know she
crazy
was
guy
the
you
leader?
talked to couldn't point himself on a map. Did you talk to anyone else?
No, I didn't.
Exactly.
Don't you think if one person would have known
You
where
took the
Tetan's was
word. You took the word of
Of-
one crazy guy who
of the
wanted to
leader.
eat his people.
of the leader?
You don't even know if he was the leader. He just said he was.
So next time you want us to call
You
a town meeting
don't
and
know shit.
you want us to call a meeting and fail the trial next time. That's what you want. You think
Are
that
those
us
the only two options you conceive of?
talk or not talk? Yes.
How much time should we devote to finding where there is real?
I don't think the reality of it
Percentage.
matters.
No, but the choices you make in this can do.
I think the most important choice we can make is we should gain the favor, do whatever it takes to gain the favor of Aril so that we can try and figure this out. Grin, I know you've picked up on the subtleties that we've seen while traveling here. Yes, she might be cruel, but there's other forces at play here. She keeps a walrus. There's spell plague damage. We don't know what's going on. This isn't like her. Something is at play here.
Do you
And
actually
what, we're
know
just
what
gonna...
she's like?
I've heard of it.
How do you even know we actually succeeded in that trial?
I felt it.
She felt it.
Felt what?
The person attuned to the ring that you have, which the trial called.
When
She felt it.
when I finished the trial, when we finished the trial, I felt a sense of it was almost as though it was a sense of you did a good job. It was I felt as though Orville was pleased with what we had done.
Beyond that, there is the matter that we were able to. I don't know if the rest of you saw, but we didn't just kill random people. They were designated. We
Yeah,
could
it's not like-
see who they were. And I only think that it was Henri and Elda who could see that, but we knew who was.
And Grin, I want to say this. When when you asked to speak at the end, towards the end, and I said yes, and we went to go sit, I didn't mean to disrespect you when Elda ran off. It was because I saw that we were running out of time, and I was gonna tell you, and I know it sounds like that's an excuse, but I was going to, but then you noticed her running off, and everything happened so quick. But we could see the people that were the targets of the trial, and when we went to go sit down, the ability to see the people was running out. We could tell the time for the trial was running out. That's why she ran off to do it. I was going to tell you. I promise you I was.
You can trust Henri, or you can put the ring on your finger and maybe you'll get the messages and you'll know.
I don't want this ring. I know who it actually belongs to.
Who does it actually belong to?
Who gave it to Henri?
One of the priestesses in Luskin.
The evil Grin gave it to me, and you know he did.
Oh, yeah.
Grin, I don't think the ring is affecting me or making me act or think a certain way. If you think it might be though, and I just don't notice it, then I won't wear it. And I don't know, we can bury it in the snow or something if you think it's dangerous.
I'd really prefer not to bury it in the snow, though.
I would also prefer not to bury it in the snow because I am very cold at the moment. But At the moment, I will
I
do
think that would be stupid.
I will do
People would
what
freeze, and it seems to be important for what we're doing.
when I get to
It
make
does
my
seem
own
crucial.
choices, I screw up. So for quite a while, I'm not going to be making my own choices. I'm going to be listening to whatever the party tells me to do. So, Grin, I want to know what you think. Tom, you got another thinking face on?
Yes, sorry.
Think
Okay.
emoji.
Grin,
I don't know the ways of these magic things. I don't know how much any of them can be trusted.
do you think that I shouldn't wear it?
Without it, you'll freeze.
Then let me freeze.
No.
At
I
least
think
then we
not
won't have.
wearing it and freezing and failing the trials is a dumb idea.
At least if I freeze, then we won't have to worry about more people running into the trials being stupid.
I'll wear it.
Henri, you're not stupid.
I am. I screwed everything
no,
up.
No,
you
you're not.
didn't.
You're the
Look at
second
this.
smartest person in this party.
I should have just done this on my own. I was the one who even was like, okay, let's
Me?
go.
It had
I'm
my
the
name
one.
on it. The door had my name on it. And look, I've screwed everything up and I've made everything bad and everybody's unhappy and now Grin's really unhappy and I just want to fix it and I don't know how.
You know what? Sometimes people are unhappy about the right decision. That's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
But Grin is a he's a good person and he makes the right decisions. So if he's unhappy about it, then how is it the right decision?
I like Grin. I think he's thoughtful. Sometimes he gets things wrong.
We
I
all
get things wrong. We all get things wrong. It doesn't mean him being unhappy means it's the wrong thing to do.
I wish it did. That would make things a lot easier. But the fact of the matter is, Abel's right.
Grin, you can't leave, okay? Kino was saying before that you were thinking about leaving, and you can't leave, okay? No matter what. That's the only thing I'm scared about. Grin. Tom, if you're
I know
talking, we can't
No,
hear you.
I
Thank
no.
emoji.
you can hate
Sorry,
me,
my
Grin.
ability to make words is failing me.
Thinking emoji, okay.
You can hate me, Grin, but don't punish Henri.
Mm.
I've come to terms with a lot of what I do is controversial a long time ago. You could take it out on me, but don't take it out on her.
No. You didn't
Or
do this
Elda.
stuff.
No, but I'm condoning it, and I'm going to continue to condone it. I think we
There
need
might
to
have
do.
been a better way to save feelings, but the right outcome, I think, happened.
I think the outcome is what we should be focusing on. I think at the end of the day, we should be doing whatever we need to do to complete these trials. If we can gain the favor of the Frost Maiden, then we should be set.
I just want
It
to
will be a
leave
small
this
step.
place. This place sucks.
It's tough,
I
but
hate it. It's just making everybody unhappy.
I mean, it's not
Yeah,
like we were happy before
Isn't
we
that
got
kind of
there.
Oral's thing?
I remember us at one point being happy. We weren't unhappy like we are here and now after all these towns happened. Not even just 10 towns. It was Luskin and Neverwinter, and every town is just making us more and more unhappy.
You know when the last time I think I was truly happy? Sitting down to have that meal at the Moonstone Mask. Right before Eyes pulled out the knife. There was just this peace. Everyone was sitting around with food and drinks, and there was entertainment, and we weren't the spotlight. We weren't the ones getting laughed at. Everyone was dressed nice, and everything just felt right. I want to get back to that.
That was nice. That's the kind of stuff I want to do again. Is I want us to be a group and we're going on adventures and we're having a nice time. And you're right that the restaurant was the last time that happened, and everything's been bad ever since then.
Everything's been horrible since then. It's been nothing but kidnappings and forbidden magic and gods yelling at us and us screwing things up.
Kidnappings?
Long story.
Jeez, what the hell
We
are you
we
people
didn't do the kidnapping. Her parents got kidnapped for a short while, but luckily we rescued them.
That's
Did you
another
pull the
thing that
knife
I
on
messed up.
somebody at the Moonstone Mask?
No, it was a
Jesus.
Kenku.
Yeah.
Can't fucking
You
take them
should have
anywhere.
stayed in a tree.
Did you turn? Nah, never mind.
Gonna be taking that part out of the stream.
What?
I liked it when we brought an hour of decent weather to 10 towns. People seemed happy about that. We helped do that.
They seemed happy for like the 2 days they got to experience it before a dragon went around and destroyed everything. And the Dwergar.
Just gonna
Wait,
put
you
a.
were responsible for the dragon and it.
We
were
were
responsible
not-
for stopping it.
Yes.
We were responsible for ending its.
That thing was an abomination. Do not worry.
We could have ended it
That was
sooner had we
happening
made different
then anyway.
decisions, but
We
we
were led
didn't,
astray by
and-
the choices of one deity that led us on a
Oh.
goose chase. I'm just gonna put a hand on Grin's shoulder and go. I hope we can get through this.
Wait a minute, there were two of the green guy?
What?
Wait, sorry, what'd you just say?
There were two of the green guy? What is this? An
There were
evil version?
Oh.
I
He
don't really understand either, but I just kind of don't ask.
It's very powerful magic, but hopefully, we don't have to worry about that for much longer. We have people. We have top men on it.
Who?
you to
Top
assume.
men.
Top
Bold of you to
men.
assume.
If the next trial also has Henri's name on it, then
I-
we need to make some decisions before we go in.
I would assume they all have her name on the door because she's the one attuned to the ring, correct?
Well, you know what they say about people who assume.
Okay, so we have to talk about it before we go in if the door has her name on it?
Should Grin, do you think that but you taking it off might have meant that I unattuned to it. So we don't know if I'm still attuned to it.
Usually you stay attuned until someone else attunes to it, but it varies.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is we read it and take the information in before we go running in.
Okay, and what if it
I
does
think
say her
that's a
name?
good idea.
I don't know.
Let's plan it out right now. What if it has her name on it? Do we go in or do we not?
I think that it doesn't just depend on my name, the word. Because we got a word on the first door, and it was pretty indicative of what we went through. So I think that also the word helps us figure out what the trial's going to be.
Which was the word again? I forgot.
Cruelty.
Cruelty.
But that wasn't cruelty, was it?
That was,
was.
yeah.
Yes, it was.
It was absolutely.
And
So
Grin,
I'm
if-
also going to say, unless we want to take this matter up with Oral herself, we only have, so many hours to get this done. And we should decide, are we going to try to do these trials? Now, I know you made your statement about assumptions, but I think it's very, very probable that whoever's holding the ring is going to see their name on the doors and the words maybe will give us a clue. I think a lot of these doors in this very particularly shaped room will be the trials that we need to complete. mean, if it starts to turn out different, we'll revisit that. But I think we need to prepare ourselves that we're going to have to enter these rooms, complete trials that will be difficult in different ways, do some good.
I'll ask this: who is down for completing the trials no matter what? Who's ready to go the distance no matter what it takes to complete the trials?
If completing the trials means that Grin leaves, then I won't. I refuse.
I think no matter what, I might give myself a little room that maybe we revisit things if no matter what gets a little too gruesome and we
If
have good reason to believe it truly is gruesome.
well, let me just
But for the most part, I think we need to go through and do these and you know,
I think that getting the trials done as quickly as possible and getting out of here would be really, really good. But like I said, if it makes people unhappy, then I don't care about completing them. We can just go steal it.
I suppose I'm with Henri here. Some
I
of you might hate me now, but
I
I do still consider you friends.
we can finish the trials if you guys think it would be better, because then it's quicker, we can get the book quicker, we can get it out of here quicker, we don't have to meet up with Orville. But if it makes people unhappy, then we should just go with what we were originally planning on doing and steal a stupid thing.
I'd prefer to try and finish these, but
I just want to get out of here. And if we need this stupid book to do it, then just whatever. Whatever.
well, if that was the worst of
I
it,
think you'll be unhappy if we fail and don't come away with what we need.
that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is we fail and then we all die because of it, or the
If
rest of Ten Towns does.
What I'm saying is, if we decide to do the trials, then yes, we should agree to do them no matter what. But the decision should be, should we do the trials at all?
I would say yes.
we might as well attempt them. It can't be
Say
any
yes.
worse than that.
Grin? Orion?
What do we do if the next one what if we do if the next trial has us tells us to kill one of our own?
I feel
None
Then
of you
like,
have any
then
none
I
of you have any
volunteer.
way to know that that was the worst one.
why don't we just
No.
read the inscription? I mean, that said cruelty, and with any hope, the next one won't be more cruelty.
Hopefully the next one's like animals. Like we have to go hug a bunny or something. Orville likes animals. Maybe it'll be animals. Maybe we're lucky.
Yeah.
I think you vastly don't understand the god that you're facing. That's really.
I can be optimistic.
This is not the time or place to be optimistic.
Oh, it's
I
always a
think
time
we
and place
don't
to
know
be
what we don't
optimistic.
know.
If we stop being optimistic, then we just be depressed, and then we
You
can't
just
do anything.
killed 5 people in cold blood.
And I
I
will
mean, what
live
part
with
of
that
that?
choice for the rest of my life.
We'll get over it.
I will not get over it. I will have to figure out a way to accept it, but I won't get over it. Not now and not ever. I thought I was doing the right thing, and I realized that I'm not. But I have to live with what
You
I've
don't
done.
know that you're not doing the right thing.
All I know is that the reasoning that led me to believe that I was doing the right thing was flawed, and I didn't see it until after I'd already done it.
Grin, if you're so worried about Henri being misdirected, why don't you give me the ring? You think I'm
You're
already a
lucky
terrible
I
person?
let you have the things you already do have.
Like what?
Like that sword.
The answer? The good sentient sword? The one that tells me to do good things and not attack people unless they attack me, that sword?
I don't trust you with anything of power.
Goes to show who
You started to think
trusts
that's a fair
one
assumption.
another.
Henri's gonna hand Grin her spellbook. And she's gonna say, if you think that I shouldn't have anything like this, then I want you to hold on to it until you think that I can help the party by casting spells, and then I'll do it. But if you think that I shouldn't be trusted, then you hold on to it, okay?
It's
He's
silly.
gonna look at it
Being
for a
dumb.
moment, like he doesn't really know what he's looking at, and then he's gonna just hand it back to you. I'm not your babysitter.
Wow. She's gonna take the book back, and she is going to just be staring at it. She's not gonna look up.
You need to cast magic, otherwise you're just a burden.
That's not a good way to put things. Not right now.
It's
Eventually.
like me leaving my armor, tools, and weapons aside and running around here.
But no, that's
You're vulnerable. You're not a burden.
You're a liability.
No, I'm not.
We need everyone pulling to do this
Not
right.
you.
I don't mean that. I'm trying to say, like, Henri's just trying to do her best right now. We shouldn't, like,
She's trying to
berate
make you
her.
happy. And you insult her.
Yeah, she's
You're not her
gonna
babysitter.
clutch the spellbook to her chest and then just slowly crouch on the ground.
Well, you tell me, is she old enough to make her own decisions when it's convenient, when the decision is that she needs to kill a bunch of people, or now am I supposed to be her babysitter and tell her which spells to use and when? You tell me which one I'm supposed to think, Kino.
I never told her that she wasn't old enough to make her own decisions, and you certainly don't have the power to tell anyone in this group whether or not they can or can't do something.
Then don't come at me when I tell her the exact same thing.
Brother's really got you on some power trip, huh?
I recognize how little power I have here. Unlike you.
All I see is one person against the rest of the group. Are you willing to die on this hill, Grin?
Have you ever known me not to be willing to die for what I think is right?
It's true.
Yeah, it's true. I've almost seen you die because of it. So it tracks.
And I'd do it 1,000 times. I will lay down on the explosion. I will stand in front of the arrows for what I think is right. And that is something that you will never be able to say.
You're willing to die for people you don't trust.
I said I don't trust you.
Am I the only person in this group you don't trust?
I think he doesn't trust me either. Which I understand.
Is this really what you're going to say to the person you're supposed to be protecting? You don't trust them. You don't like them.
If I could trust you to make the correct decisions, I wouldn't have to protect you.
So what are we doing? Are we completing the trials or not? Or are we going to spend the rest of the day talking about it until Auril gets back and finds
gu-
us and kills us?
Do you guys have spell slots open for comprehend languages? Because if you do, it only lasts an hour, correct, Henri, when you cast it?
Yes, it lasts an hour.
Okay. So
It's
if you have
I
the spell slots available, I will tell you what the other doors say if you go around and
I
read
can
them.
ritual cast it, but I don't have
Right.
it prepared as a spell.
Okay. You can ritual cast it too. That's fine. You have enough time. If you ritual cast it, though, I'm counting up each one because I am counting the time.
Well, it would basically at this point, if we decided to actually do the rest of the trials, if they wanted me to go and figure out the rest of the names, it would be one ritual cast, and then I would run around to all the different doors.
Yeah.
Right. Right. That's what I assume.
Yeah.
I'm saying in general, every single time we ritual cast, I'm writing it down in like all
Yeah.
the real time. Yeah.
I'm gonna say to Grin, I know you're upset with me, but do you want me to try and figure out what the rest of the trials are?
Do it.
All right. Okay, so you go ahead and take the 15 minutes and cast the ritual cast. Now, actually, I'm gonna have to bring up the map. So you, oh, actually, it's less important. So, there is one that is not completely revealed in this because the runes are actually broken. However, carved in once you can see this, it actually comes up as common to you anyway. So, so in one of the doors, it says endurance. Another one it says isolation. And then in another one, this is where it's broken off. It actually says ERVATION.
Can you type that out or
Yeah,
say it
Ovation.
I
again?
did.
It's Irvation, but I can type it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
The first part is broken out. So there was something before that, but it's illegible because it's the runes are completely broken. And I'll write it down for you right now.
Mm.
And there should be one more, but something's wrong with the module. So give me 1 second.
Maybe it's something simple like observation.
Okay.
Let's hope it's something like that.
Innervation.
Reservation. We have to
Yeah,
make dinner plans.
Here it is.
Yeah, reservation.
But all the restaurants have been booked up,
Yes.
Oh.
and no one can get their shots.
Shit.
Oh, yes. There are only 3 more tests. That is correct. So that is right. So even though it looks like there are more than that, there are only 3 as you go through. The door on top. So there are 4 different alcoves. The door on top, the one that you went to previously, does not have one of these tests written on it.
Do they all say my name?
No, the only one that said your name was cruelty. But that doesn't. But again, honoring, you know that these are magic, and you know that every single time that, like for instance, in the very top one, when the 2 frost maiden statues came or whatever, they are reactive, and you would guess without an arcana check that it has something to do with intent. So it's very possible that things could change as you're about to enter them. But for now, just reading them, no.
Okay.
You'll have to see what happens when your intent is to actually go through them.
Okay, so I will point
Well, I
at
feel like mending or some sort of materials knowledge might help me
No.
gain more of that word.
No, the problem is that no, and the reason why is because not only are the runes some kind of archaic language that you don't understand to begin with, but worse, they have some kind of magic associated with them. So no, that there's no way to really fix these. The only way to fix them would to take the Mojang out and take the door off and go through and see if you can reverse engineer it, but you realize that there's just no way is there enough time and it would take too much
Okay.
effort.
Well, I guess we should discuss who does what then.
well,
After
Grin's
all,
the
we were just talking
strongest.
discussion.
So if we were gonna do endurance, he would be good at endurance. Right, Grin?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Do you want to do it though? I feel I should ask that. I'm sorry.
I don't know what these trials entail.
That's
Endurance doesn't
fair.
sound particularly malevolent.
It sounded like each one kind of covers a different domain. One's moral, one's physical, one's mental, one's ervation.
Maybe
Spiritual.
could I
Maybe.
I guess since Chris is here, can I do a religion check to figure out if they're like virtues or something of
Yeah.
Wow, I can't remember her name.
You're trying to
Auril.
figure out if these
Auril?
are associated to like the god
Like-
of Auril in some way.
Like if
Okay.
they're like virtues of Auril or something.
You can try. Yep.
Since we already know that the cruelty thing was a virtue kind of sort of thing. So wow, I am not that great at religion checks. Wow. Oh, that's 18. That's okay.
Let's see. No, it doesn't appear like there's any kind of written like virtue of Auril or anything like that. These are probably just aspects of her characteristics that she denotes on her followers potentially, but there's nothing in writing or no like
Yeah.
actual mantra that has anything to do with Auril's virtues.
That's more I meant, which is like, is it like the kind of things that it's like are like doctrines of like her faith? Which,
yeah, these could
so-
be these definitely could be things that Auril tries to impasse on her basically
Yeah.
followers and patrons, but you know that
Alright.
cruelty is certainly one.
Yeah. All right.
And endurance is
enough.
certainly one. Cruelty and endurance go really hand in hand with the test
Well,
that you guys did with that grin when you did the race. So
if I had to guess, these are all things that would be considered virtuous by Auril and her followers, in a sense. So, if we're trying to figure out what that one means, we must just think of what Auril herself would consider it to be a virtuous thing to do, for lack of a better term. Oh, we got another check going.
It was just a test.
Okay.
While Henri's running around to the doors, I'm just gonna turn to Grin and say, "Look, you don't need to trust me, but Henri's real upset, and I don't want you to lose faith in her, and I don't want her to lose you." And she's gonna reach in and pull a small piece of, it almost looks like a tiny, like wrapped up circlet or something and it's got a little bit of paper wrapped around it. I had these a while back, and I'd prefer if you gave this to her. I was gonna, but I think it would be fitting if you did. And
What is it?
She's just gonna lift a corner of the paper, and you see it's a single, handmade. It looks like a bracelet, and it's got a few like little charms and beads and stuff on it. It's not enchanted. It doesn't have any magic. You could have Abel check it if you want, but it's completely mundane. It was just sort of a sentimental thing I got her a while back. I think it would mean more coming from you than it would me.
Save it for if we get out of here.
Deal.
So,
She's gonna put it back.
once that's all over, Elda's. She's not gonna like go in and intrude on what appears to be a private conversation, but like afterwards, when everyone's back together, she's gonna be like, "So, what? We might as well divvy these up now on what everyone's gonna do."
We need everyone needs to agree on whether or not we are actually doing them. We need to figure that out first. We have to all agree on it.
I think we have as much agreement as we're gonna get. I volunteer myself for isolation. It sounds fitting after what was done.
Can we not all go in them together? I hate
I mean-
splitting.
I think
No, I think we can go together, but I think that one person needs to be the primary intent of whatever it is.
the first person who intends to go in will be the main person who needs to complete it.
Should we share this burden then? not put it all on Henri.
Well, of course. Like I said, I would rather do the isolation after that. I feel like it's some form of penitence if it sounds as bad as it is.
I'll go into endurance and I'll go alone.
I'll do Hervation.
I don't think we can go alone. I don't think that would be wise.
You don't think we can, or you don't think we should?
I don't think we should, because we've done everything thus far as a team. Win or lose, we do it together.
Up there.
Even if we fail, we're at least less likely to die.
Also,
and
Chris, sorry, I'm sorry.
I was sorry.
Chris, did we have any idea in character that we were on a timer?
The
I feel
only
like Torx-
timer, the only timer that you really understand that you're on is the one that basically says that Aurel's going to be back in 8 to 9 hours.
so
There
I
is-
think we more meant like when it was ending, like
no,
when
no,
the
no. When
thing
we
was
were
fading.
going in, when
Yeah.
I opened the first door, but and then I
There
went
didn't seem to
forward,
be
and then
any
we
timer.
disappeared. Because remember, in meta there was a timer for people to get in. So
yes,
I just
but that no, there's
Okay.
not. Not that you understand. Yeah.
Okay.
That timer is set up for something entirely different, by the way. But yeah.
Okay.
Oh God. But yes,
Yep.
I think that if we're gonna go into these, we might fail them. Who knows? But I'd rather at least do them with others around because, to be quite honest, I just don't feel like dying again. And should we go alone, any one of us is more likely to die.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think
sure. Oh, sorry.
We should work together. Grin, didn't you tell me once apes together strong or something like that?
Oh my God.
I don't think I've ever said that in character.
Okay, I
but,
couldn't remember if it was in or out of character.
I
don't-
think I remember you saying that in character.
I hope it was in character.
That'd be funny.
It's in
But
character now.
I'm not sure if any of the rest of you have died before, but it isn't particularly pleasant.
I
Well-
was not under that concept.
As long as we're together, it won't happen. So
Exactly. I hope.
I know.
Like I said, some of you may not consider me this at this point, but I do consider you all to be friends now after everything we've been through, and I do value the rest of your lives. Probably more than I value my own at this point.
Nonsense. We all value yours.
The rest of you, perhaps.
I like you, Elda.
I'm careless with things for a reason, you know.
We're all a little careless.
I care a lot.
Oh boy, Elda's got a bit of depression, I guess.
So then, do we agree to finish the trials?
We finish the trials and we finish them together. Everyone goes into everyone.
I agree.
I
Should
agree.
we vote on it?
If we go through a trial and find some other information, we can revisit this.
Exactly.
Hopefully we all get to see the day where we're out of this frigid hellscape and can enjoy a warm bed once again. It's been too long.
Doesn't that seem nice?
Hopefully one day.
We're gonna have our own house again one day.
Again,
Yeah.
I...
That was nice for 2 days.
You know, maybe I shouldn't ask.
I'm gonna
Now's not the
make.
time.
We'll get to that story later, but I'm gonna when I get stronger with my magic, I'm gonna make a house.
Do either of you know who Jarlaxle is? I look at Orion and Elda.
Would we?
Would I?
No.
have.
Actually, you actually may have heard of Jarlaxle. And the reason
Oh.
why is because the Githyanki trade with him, and only
Oh,
him for
no.
the most part. So only in
might-
like really high level stuff though.
You know, I might have heard of him then.
Yeah.
Because I speak Gith, I probably would have overheard something at some point. That's
We
kind
Yeah,
of terrifying.
He trades in Nautiluses and other things, but again, these are things that are like you have to
Yeah.
be pretty in the know to know these things.
She probably would have like only overheard this, but probably would at least have a semblance of an idea of what's going on.
You know, only a tiny bit, but better than nothing, I suppose.
He's
we
a
really-
jerk.
we really
Well-
messed his day up a while back.
He's a jerk.
That's good to hear. Yes, he did. From what I seem to remember, he did trade with my those who enslaved me. So
He's rude
Well-
and a jerk, and I don't like him.
We paralyzed him, and I kissed him on the cheek.
I
Okay,
I
that
have
was funny.
several questions, but maybe
Remind
maybe
me at
now
some
is
point, by the way, Henri. I actually want to hear the story of how your character slept with Charlaxo in that module. I'm so confused. Knowing that module very well, I'm like super confused on how the DM like actually got that going. But that's anyway. That's sorry. I didn't mean to.
That's
No,
awesome.
it's funny.
Just remind me
That's
later.
just funny.
Oh my god.
Did not expect that.
All of the emotion that we had carefully
Sorry, I know that
crafted
was-
over.
Yeah.
Sorry.
but
I just face planted in my
Okay,
desk.
okay.
I'll start messaging you after this is done,
he-
Chris.
Thanks.
I do know of him. He traded with those who enslaved me, so I am glad to hear that you might have harmed him at least a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we took like thousands of gold pieces off of him, along with an enchanted sword, an enchanted feather, an enchanted gem.
Did
I still
you?
wanted that feather really badly.
I know it disappeared, but
So
a
you
story
did
for
not
another
keep any
day.
of that.
we kept the gold in the haversack.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where that comes from.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
his.
Well, not any longer.
Oh, he's got a cool hat.
He does have a cool hat.
But anyway, so we're doing this together, all of us.
I think we should. But
Oh, Ryan, is
I'm
there any
gonna-
other questions you have for us?
I have a great many questions. It may not be the time or the place.
Any...
if we're gonna be dragging you into these stupid trials, then this might be a good time for you to ask questions.
Just to point it out, my employer is currently missing, and she is the reason why I'm here.
We're gonna find her too.
We'll figure that out in time. Although, we might as well get this part over with. After all, we're here already.
Just not mentioning that Elda does not trust her an inch. I don't think any of us do.
Henri
But,
does.
We'll find her. We'll find her.
But that's mostly because she just trusts everybody.
I should start journaling when this is done. I'll have to buy a book for that. I feel like something to organize one's thoughts after this is gonna be. If we have a chance, Henri, can we, once we're in a safer place, talk about what happened?
Once all
I
this
don't-
stupid stuff is done with, we will.
Yeah. Because I don't think either of us are gonna feel. Yeah. Too much is going on. Just too much. I mean, I've only been alive again for what? How many days has it even been? Like 3, 4? I don't even think it's been a week.
Let's do them and get them done then.
Very well.
So, is that where we want to end the mini session?
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
and by the
Yeah.
way, remember, the walrus did very much allude or tell you guys that he is guarding the Codicil of White.
Yeah.
And if that's true, the Codicil of White, and if he's being literal, that means it's down here. It's not actually upstairs anyway. So just
Do
keep
we
that in
want-
mind. If he's being literal.
Do
Yeah.
we want to check out the axe door before we go
think-
into the next one?
I think that's what we're unlocking.
Okay.
I think we
You
should.
would just have to make that decision. Yeah, you would have to make that one's the one to the north. I'll point out the other ones when we have a map up, but
Yeah.
there's 4 on the bottom, and then of course the single one in the middle up in the north is the axe one. That is correct.
Is that an actual trial or is that
It seems to be different. It doesn't
Is
seem.
that-
Yeah,
all right?
it does seem to be different.
Oh,
Does
Chris,
that door seem to be? Oh, sorry.
sorry, can we get the poem again
Yes, please.
and the name of the walrus?
But yeah. Does,
I
he did-
lost the sound for last
did-
session.
To be honest, I don't know if the walrus gave his name. I
He
think
did.
he might have. Okay.
He did.
He
yeah.
did.
Alright, cool.
We talked to the walrus a lot.
Yeah, I know you did. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
If he gave
No, I
his name.
remember his name because well, I don't remember the name, but I remember talking him. He gave his name because it was similar to
Oh yeah, it's yeah. He did give you his name. It's Akuma. It's Ukuma.
Oh,
But,
that's right. It was a Kuma. That's awesome.
does
Except for not with an A. Exactly.
Yeah.
does it so did the door up top change after we finished that one trial at all?
No,
No?
nothing changed. Nothing changed at all.
Well,
Okay, so
No.
this is the actual riddle. In ice and blood our folk are born. To our great queen we raise our horn. We'll fight and plunder in the morn. To Vasavikin we are sworn.
well,
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
Probably like actually investigating the door and trying to figure out a way will be part of tomorrow.
I think that after
Yeah.
we do the rest of the
Yeah.
trials,
Yeah.
and hopefully,
Yeah, that's
the,
some kind of tomb, by the way, for sure. I mean, that's the only other thing that you would get from like a standard like religion check once you go through it, which I assume someone will do. It looks like it's some kind of tomb,
and
which is different from the trials.
with it, I think that if we're all like, so long as it's not like more horrible stuff, I think we'll go a lot faster. Since that one trial mostly just took a long time because, well, yeah.
Right.
Do we know which one?
It's very possible that all of them are going to be in depth, so we'll see.
I mean, that first one wasn't like too in depth. It's just that it was horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do we know which one we want to specifically go to next?
Elda wants to go to the isolation and just do that one because she feels like she's hoping that it's actually horrible for her specifically as a way to do like penitence of some sort.
Little isolation right now could do me well.
Why not send someone who likes isolation?
I think we're all going.
Yeah, but like for the person who does the trial, we mean.
If we all go, we may all have to do it.
But any
I'd-
luck if one of us completes it. Like, I mean, I'm not sure if you noticed, Grin, but I was the one who.
But
I was the one who finished that. You tackling me just kind of hurt me.
Oh, Chris, by the way, I failed my con check.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you have a point of exhaustion.
Got a 6. Wait, no, I got an 8 total.
As much as you
Go-
guys feel bad about like what you may or may not have done, let's go into the trying to do it well and successful, not as penance.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna try and succeed, of course. I
Okay.
don't want to let any of you down since I just want
What's
to
done is
retain
done.
whatever shard of trust you have in me now.
I
Did
trust you.
Grin give back the ring to Henri?
Not yet.
It might be wise to give that to her just so she doesn't freeze to death.
I think someone should have it on, because it seems like that is the mode for communication.
I think someone needs to have it on. I don't like to see Henri freeze.
Yes.
Aw, Abel, you care.
Indeed.
Thank you.
It is inopportune for a party member to freeze. That's Abel's thought process.
Yeah.
I mean, at least my ice cube will be tiny to carry around.
Yeah. I mean,
Drop me in a drink.
we have tinier people, but yeah.
I'll have it on the Henri rocks.
Yeah.
On the rocks.
Henri rocks, yeah.
Nope, not doing it.
Nope. I think I know where you're going, and no.
Bonk.
Bonk.
Not making that joke.
So, Grin, what will your response be to people suggesting that you give the ring back to Henri? I would like to know.
I'm not demanding. I'm just asking you. I think it would be good.
It hardly seems like the ring made you do anything. So.
He's going to kind of take it out of his pocket and look at it, and then
Why shouldn't I?
yeah. And he's gonna give it back to her.
Thank you. I will put it back on.
I'm just gonna give Grin a little side hug.
Ooh, can we hug now? Grin, can I hug you too?
He doesn't look particularly huggable at the moment.
Either does Abel.
I mean, look at
No,
me.
I already know that Abel doesn't like hugs, so I don't give Abel hugs anymore.
Elda will
If you
just whisper
only
to
run-
Henri, "We'll try and do something to make it up to him when we get back."
Okay.
I'm the least huggable looking paladin, I think, in all of Faerun.
Poke out an eye with those spikes. Chris, am
I-
I?
To, just out of curiosity, who has greater restoration right now? No one, right?
Nope.
Does anyone?
Nope.
Oh
No.
god. Okay. Well,
Oh
No.
no.
Shit.
just curious. I'm just curious. This is-
So who's
So,
gonna be?
like I said, I didn't create this module. I'm giving you guys that a heads up right now.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Well, you
Alright.
know, we can dump the conditions onto Elda. She is depressed already.
Panic
Put it on
texting
someone
brother. Brother,
carryable.
brother, come back. We fucked up.
You didn't have.
I don't know
anything?
why, but whenever somebody says panic texting, I just imagine like them on the bed,
Yeah.
like crying,
So-
belly forward.
Yeah.
So,
Like when Bahamut
so
was panic texting.
it's not very fun for me to like meta this. So guys, this will be the last time I say this, but I'm serious. I went through the entire module. There are things that you're just gonna have to roll with. It is interesting to say. Like, I'm actually surprised more people don't complain about this, but there's just shit that I'm gonna I'm gonna do it as it's written, and it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think we're all prepared for whatever. Like,
Oh, no, we're not
will ask
prepared
this
for it.
question.
But we'll accept it.
I will ask this question because I didn't see the roll happen.
Yeah.
Would +5 help?
I.
What do you
Is that
mean?
the state?
Which role? I'm not talking about greater restoration. Anything we've done so far, or you guys have even,
It's something
trust
that
me,
might
you won't-
happen in
and
the
you-
future.
and you won't be able to guess. But it's I was because I not only did I read through the entire module last night, but I also went through all the iterations of all the possibilities. I will say one thing. One thing is great. Even though Auril's lower level, she's fucking hard, and that's great. And then they explain why she's lower level. By lower level, I don't mean she's close to you, but I mean for a god, she's like ridiculously low level. But there's a reason for it. It's because she's doing the spell she's doing, and it's actually taking her
Yeah.
levels to do it, which is awesome. But there are other things that you will be hitting into where all that shit that I just talked about, like having greater restoration or other things, it is what it is. So just keep in mind this is hard. This is actually a pretty fucking hard module with awesome like things to win, but also devastating things to encounter. So just keep all
Yeah.
that in mind.
I think we're all prepared for like at least mentally prepared for
Yeah.
like whatever happens.
I will say this: there is actually things in this that are actually weirder than Tomb of Horror. I was like, "Whoa, like this is crazy." But so, yep, cool.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
feeling
it
real
may be fine,
good.
to be honest. It may be fine. You guys constantly like do better than I expect anyway, so it might be fine. But there's
There's
some
a lot of
shit in
shit.
here. Yep.
Honor, you got portents?
I always got points. Not right now though. Cause I used one for Ryan and hang on, I wrote it down. I used one for Ryan. And... But I'm glad we got this out of the way.
Yeah.
Because if this had been if this
Cool.
had been tomorrow,
It would have taken us. I mean, it took
Yeah, it
us
would've
like
been
2
an hour.
hours. So
Yeah.
like, well, or like an hour. It took a while.
it took.
Yep.
Hang on, I can give you an hour. We just hit an hour and a half exactly,
Yeah.
which is funny as hell.
Did I miss anything super relevant? Because I got here at 8:10, which means you guys did a lot before.
It
this.
was
Is there
mostly
anything-
just our characters being like sad.
Okay.
I am recording it right now. I can send you the link for the video.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
It was mostly just in character moral debates.
Right.
So
Like, I never really heard that Grin he kind of agreed. I mean, did you guys actually do the vote?
We got as much agreement as we're gonna get.
Okay. Okay.
he
Agreement
is
about what?
to do the
the
trial.
actual trial. Like, I know there wasn't an actual vote, and Grin actually, maybe it's strategic or not, but never actually said kind of whatever. Like, he just kept his mouth shut. So, I mean, was there a vote though?
I thought
I
there
feel
was a
like
vote.
a consensus was expressed.
Yeah.
I do agree with you.
I
there. Yeah.
thought Grin expressed let's just get it over with.
He did at
Yeah.
the end. Yeah.
Yeah, this wouldn't have been the first time that Grin did not openly agree to something.
Yeah, I know.
He definitely is like a wait and see kind of person.
Cool. So, Orion, I figured out what it was.
Yeah?
We can drop down real quick.
Oh, sure thing.
All right. Well, it looks like we
I'm
did it.
super gluing Henri's and
Yeah.
Grin's hands together. By the way, he's not allowed to
Good.
leave.
That's gonna help us. Grid restoration won't help with that.
That seemed weird that Chris was like, did everyone agree when we already kind of figured that out?
He did also just. I think he was just making sure that he didn't miss too much.
Yeah.
Because I think he
Alright.
actually did join in after we finished that talk.
He did.
Yeah. But I think he was also just being like, yeah, you guys didn't just like agree without Grin like actually agreeing. Like it was like, well, everybody but Grin
Oh.
agrees, so let's do it. You know.
We already were aware, I'm pretty sure.
I am terrified now. I was feeling real good.
Right
Now
up
I'm
until
not.
right up until Chris asked, so who has greater restoration?